Hey guys, Avery here with the Skips Tactical Solutions podcast, and today we have a very special guest. I don't know if you guys know her, but if you don't know her, by the end of this episode, you will definitely know exactly who she is. So today I have with me Brickell, also known as American Gun Chic. Brickell, thanks for joining.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me. Super excited to hang out and answer some questions.
All right, so Brickell is, I don't want to say new to the gun community, but she's definitely been in the gun community longer than I've been in the gun community. And she is the owner of American Gun Chic, and she is also the American Gun Chic. And she is going to tell us a little bit about herself.
All right, so I'll just start from the top, I guess. So I've been doing my YouTube channel for about 3 years, and it kind of just started where my friends and my boyfriend took me out shooting, and I was super nervous. I didn't want to shoot at all or anything. I was really, really terrified. Just like I'm sure everybody, men probably don't admit it, but women will admit it that we're all scared to pull the trigger for the first time. And then when I did it, I was super proud of myself. So we started recording it because I thought it was really fun and exciting that I kind of conquered my fear. And then we started uploading it just for fun, kind of just like, hey, look at me, I'm shooting. And then men started sending me messages saying, hey, because of you, my daughter or my wife or my sister or whatever female in their life started shooting and they could never get them to go shooting. And I thought that was pretty cool and it was kind of inspiring. So I kept doing it. And then I started learning more about the Second Amendment. And then I started getting like a really deep, like true passion for the Second Amendment and for like what this whole country was founded on. I started kind of paying attention more to like history and, before I was just kind of like a, teeny bopper where all I paid attention to was like the Kardashians and MTV and just stupid stuff like that. But I was young, and then so I started paying more attention to the important things like the Second Amendment and all that stuff. And now I feel like I don't do this YouTube channel for fun and it's not all, lighthearted, fun and games. Now I feel like I do it because I want to contribute to the Second Amendment and contribute to the guys that pretty much died so we can have the Second Amendment. And I feel like it's my way of giving back and, it's my way of paying it forward. And so I've been, taking tons of training classes, trying to build up my credibility so I can take other girls out and take them shooting and get them comfortable because I feel like they'll be able to relate more to me than they would, some man or some guy. Because as women, I feel like we can be more comfortable with each other if we're doing something new and scary they feel like is in a man's world kind of. Yeah. So that's kind of what I'm doing now.
Nice. So obviously she does not look, so for those of you who are just listening to the podcast, feel free to go over to the YouTube channel and check out the live interview with me and American Gun Chic. But she is, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
26. Just turned 26.
Oh, and happy late birthday.
Oh, thank you.
So she is a 26-year-old female, white, and I want to say you're about my height, right? About 5'2"?
No, like 5'6", 5'7". So
you're like, do not take away my inches.
Yeah, I'm not that short.
So she definitely doesn't look like the average gun chick. So I think that's what's so great about her is because she brings a different style to the gun community. And there's a ton of different people in the gun community, and we all bring something different, and we all attract different people to the community. So I had the pleasure of meeting American Gun Chic at SHOT Show this year, and she was a sweetheart. And I definitely seen her videos before. She's been in the community longer than me, and you've been in the community 3 years?
Yeah, about 3 years.
So she's been in the community 3 years. She's definitely gained a reputation for herself. And it was an honor to meet her. And she was such a sweetheart. And I was able to hang out with her a bit and just learn a little bit more about her. And I just heard some of the things that she's been through. So we're going to talk about that today. And then we're just going to talk about some of the things that she has going on and feel free to send me a message or shoot her a message or comment on the episode and let us know what you guys think or if you have any questions for us. So, American Gun Chic, what are you doing nowadays?
So I'll take classes here and there, but what I'm really working on right now is my tour that I'm pretty much starting. So what I'm going to be doing is going around to different gun shops, and it's like a 3-day thing, and pretty much promoting the gun shop, taking girls shooting, and it'll be free for the girls. The whole goal is to just get guns in girls' hands and, change their minds and open their minds and make them realize that they're not scary and they're not bad like the media and TV tries to make you think. And, average people can handle firearms. It doesn't take like a special ops military or cop to handle a firearm. The average person has the brain capacity to handle one. So what we want to do is, so what I have in the works right now, I have, 2 stops set up so far. I have one in Sebring, Florida at Spray and Pray, and that's April 18th to the 20th. And then the first day will be like a meet and greet. So people, will show up, we can take pictures, hang out, get lunch, whatever. Just, it's my chance to get to meet some of my followers and to kind of see what they look like.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to say followers. I hate that word. My
supporters.
My friends. Yeah. My supporters and friends. I hate the word follower because I feel like it's like they're not followers. They're, supporters. And then the second day would be basically the start of the class, but it would be all, in a desk, like indoor type of stuff. So we would have room for 5 girls basically, and the girls would show up and we would do like a speech, and then we would do a slideshow, and then we would teach them all about safety. We want to get, all of that done before we actually put guns in their hands, and we want to teach them about, the importance of safety and, how to remain safe, and just emphasize on all of that type of stuff pretty much. And then the third day, we actually put them in the range, and then they'll get to shoot, and there'll be like 5 lanes, and they'll get to, learn about sight alignment, how to line up their sights, how to grip the gun, how to pull the trigger, trigger reset basically, and stuff like that. So it'll be a very simple, basic class. It's not going to be a class for people like, like yourself or anyone that is already a gun person or has shot a gun before. It's going to be a very simple, it's just going to be introducing women to guns basically. And then so our next stop is going to be at TRW Guns, and that's going to be April 21st to the 23rd, and that's in Naples. And we're going to do the same thing there basically. And then we have some other stops in the works kind of, but we don't have the dates set up for them right now. So if anybody, I know this isn't live right now, but when it goes up, if anybody in their area has any gun shops near them and they want me to come there and do a class there, then please contact the gun shop there, and then, put in a good word for me. And then, because we need the gun shops to say yes, first and foremost. And then, send me the information and I'll get in contact with them, and then we should totally set it up, because we're trying to do as many spots as we can on the East Coast first. And then, we're trying to take baby steps because I've never done anything like this before. So we're going to, do the East Coast, do Florida, get all that done. And if it goes good, then try and do it in all the states pretty much.
So are you looking to do them at gun shops or ranges?
Both. It just depends. If they have a range at their shop, then it's perfect. But if it's just a shop, then we'll have to rent out like some outdoor space somewhere and just do it there.
Okay.
So
you guys heard it straight from American Gun Chic. If you're looking to bring her to your city, make sure that you reach out to your gun shop, gun range, and get them to contact her so that she can bring the education. But something that I want to ask you really quick is, I know you said that you're focusing on the basics. I myself know that sometimes the average shooter, or not even just the average shooter, everyone needs to be reminded of the basics sometimes. So even if people may have training, it may be something that they may want to check out still, because they may need to be reminded of their basics.
Yeah, it never hurts to go over that stuff, because I feel like when you get to a point where you get so advanced, you almost like have like a new language where you can't even talk to beginner people, because I know I've done it before too, where I was like, all right, in the class, we need to tell them this and this. And then Joe's like, whoa, that's jargon. And those words are like, they're not going to understand what that is, like the word recoil. Like when I talk about we're going to be teaching girls, I mean like girls that, know nothing at all. And almost maybe even girls that might be anti-gun, and maybe we can convert them to being pro-gun, because I feel like instead of preaching to the choir, that kind of does nothing. Like if I'm going around to the gun community saying, hey, the Second Amendment's important, they're like, we know. But if we go out and reach out to people that may be on the fence or maybe anti-gun, or they're not really sure, then if we can convert them over, then they'll potentially vote in our favor in the future. So I feel like it's important to realize that they are new, so don't overload them with, a whole bunch of jargon and terms like recoil or trigger reset, or just a bunch of crazy words that they know nothing about. But yeah, I feel like it is good if somebody is already advanced to go back to that time when maybe they were new and refresh their brain with some of those things.
And so I try not to say advanced, I try to say experience, because a lot of people think they're more advanced than what they really are.
Yeah, that's a good word. Experienced.
And you may be surprised, because there's a lot of people who are pro Second Amendment, but they've never shot a gun, or they're pro Second Amendment and they own a gun, but they're just not comfortable with it. So are you open to men being in the class as well?
Doing what?
Are you open to men coming to the class as well?
It's, well, maybe in the future, but right now it's going to be all women, because I feel like women will relate to me more, and like, because I'm a woman, and I don't know, I just feel like it's kind of more personal, because I care about women, I care about men too, but
no, I mean, it's your class, it's your world, and you start it how you want to start it. So if you're more comfortable starting it with women, fine, you start it with women. But I want to go back to, you said that you do training. So what are some of the trainings that you've been through?
So my first class ever was at Tactical Response, and I did the way of the pistol. So it was fighting pistol, and then advanced fighting pistol, and then it was like the test pretty much, which is the fight, and you go around with force on force, like semi-munition guns, and that sucked. And then I started doing more classes at excuse me. I started doing more classes at Tactical Response. I did like shotgun classes, rifle classes, and then I trained with the Boone and Tonto, the guys from Benghazi, and I did their classes. They do a lot of like active shooter classes. And then I did a class with Sawman Sawyer, and I've done some like room clearing classes. Building clearing classes, and what else? A speed shooting class, and I think that's it. It's just mostly all been tactical classes, really. Like,
sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, just like classes, like if something happened and like the dollar crashed, or if somebody's coming into your house and you have to go and get your kids and clear your rooms or whatever, and just all like tactics pretty much.
So out of all the classes you've taken, what's your favorite?
Probably fighting shotgun. I like fighting shotgun. I just like shotguns. They're just
really
so much fun to shoot. Yeah.
I'm not a big fan.
Really? Why is that?
I want to say probably because I don't have a lot of experience with it, but it's just, for me, it's obviously I'm short, my arms aren't that long, and it's just I don't have the experience, so it's not as comfortable for me. But I'm more comfortable with a pistol or a rifle, and so I gravitate towards that more. And for home defense, that's what I use as well.
Yeah, I see what you mean as far as like not being comfortable when you're shooting like the shotgun, because my arms get super, super tired when I'm holding that shotgun out or a rifle out, because I'm small and I don't have much strength. But I think after taking the class, you shoot so many rounds and you're shooting it all day. Your body just kind of gets used to it, and it almost adapts to it kind of.
It's that muscle memory kicking in.
Yeah.
All right, so you are experienced in the gun community. You've taken tons of classes. As a woman, which I would say a woman is a minority in the gun community, how how do you feel you were welcomed into the gun community?
You know, I feel like in the beginning, you know, people are super nice. I feel like when you have a smaller following, then there's less hate because there's less people to see you. But I feel like, you know, everything was good in the beginning, and now everything's good, but I have more hate. I feel like I'm not going to reflect on that though. I feel like I get more love than hate, but there's definitely some haters that can come out. Like, you know, some people have said some very rude things like, you know, I hope she hits herself in the face with that revolver. Or I saw one thing where someone said, I can't wait for her first accident or something. And for people to say that, I don't know what I could have done to them in their lives for them to wish those types of things on me. That's somebody that's truly hurt inside, and I don't even think it's me. I think it's them.
Yeah.
But I think that some men might see you and they might get mad or jealous because they feel like you're using your looks to just, you know, get to where you are. And maybe, you know, because of my looks or being a girl or being different, that it did help me out, because I feel like if I was just the average tactical guy, then people might not care as much. But people got to realize that I can't help that I was born a girl, and I'm not going to change who I am. Like, if I want to dye my hair blonde, and if I want to wear sparkly hearing protection, and I want to wear pink to the range, then I should be allowed to do that, because the Second Amendment isn't for, you know, white men in the military or veterans or anything like that. The Second Amendment is for Americans. It's for anybody that lives in the United States and is a United States citizen. So I think that they shouldn't look at me like it's weird that I'm into this, because everybody that lives here should be into this.
Yeah.
But, you know, I get called, you know, gun bunny, or just like she's doing it for attention and stuff like that, which I could understand why they would think that, because I am who I am, but I'm not going to change who I am and convert to a different lifestyle just because I'm into this and because I support the Second Amendment.
So how does gun bunny, how does that term, what do you feel about that term?
I feel like gun bunny is kind of like a stupid term. I don't know. I don't consider myself a gun bunny, but I understand what a gun bunny is. I think a gun bunny is somebody that takes pictures with guns and might like do like a little video holding a gun, but they don't actually train or shoot, or they don't actually know how a gun operates, but they do it. It's almost like they're modeling guns. Like if a girl stood in front of a Lamborghini in like a hot dress and some heels, but she never drove the Lamborghini or knows nothing about it. I think that's what a gun bunny is. But at the same time, I don't know why people are mad at gun bunnies, because I don't feel hate towards gun bunnies, because, and people are going to say, well, because you're a gun bunny, but I don't consider myself a gun bunny. But I think that gun bunnies, like if they're making guns look, you know, more appealing and sexy, and they're making it kind of like artistic. I've seen some pictures on Instagram where girls were in some, you know, like really sexy tactical gear, and you know, they weren't wearing a lot of clothes, but they had like blood on them and they had dirt, but it was kind of sexy and it was kind of like rough looking, and they had, you know, like a rifle slinged on their back, and it almost to me looked kind of artistic. So I think it's in a way kind of artistic, and I feel like the hate for gun bunnies stems from men that maybe they are just deep down inside they're sexist, or they don't feel like women, or they feel like women don't have a place in the gun world. And I feel like that's their problem and it's not the girl's problem.
Do you feel like there's male gun bunnies?
Oh yeah, I think that there could be male gun bunnies, you know.
I think that there are some male gun bunnies out there.
I've seen some pictures where I'm like, wait, so I'm a gun bunny, but this picture isn't a gun bunny, you know?
Yeah, I think that they just kind of see women and, you know, oh, well, she's pretty, and I mean, I don't see anything wrong with posing with a gun, because I mean, everything's not going to be a live action shot. But from what you said, your definition of a gun bunny is, I mean, you don't fit into that category because you have knowledge, you've taken several classes, and that's not a gun bunny.
Yeah, well, I think it's funny because I think the people that call me a gun bunny, they're Instagram followers, or they might be on Facebook, but I don't get called a gun bunny on my YouTube because that's where my videos are. But then on Facebook and Instagram, they'll be like, oh, you annoying gun bunny. And then I'm like, well, and then I'm like, what's a gun bunny? And then they tell me the definition. And then I'm like, well, here's my video. And I drop the link and they're like, you're still a gun bunny. And I'm like, okay, there's no winning with these people.
Yeah, there's some people, no matter what you say, you're not going to be able to win. So those people, I kind of just brush off, and it's like, okay, have a good day. And I've realized some people have to be really, really unhappy in their own life to be spewing some of the hate that they spew. And I think about 6 months in business, I realized that it wasn't me, it was them. Like, there was nothing about me that was making them say the nasty things that they were saying. It was all about them. Because for you to wish that someone gets hurt, I mean, someone that you don't know, someone like that's someone's daughter, that's someone's maybe wife, girlfriend, sister, and you're wishing that they get hurt all because of a post, like, you're pretty sick.
I know. I was actually going to ask you about that because you're also a female. Do you get hate like that? Like, do you get people saying like gun bunny or wishing bad things on you, or just being a hater? Like, do you get that too?
I do. I think some of the people that are on my channel or on my pages know, at this point, I have no problem responding. I think I maybe respond to some things too much. I had people say, oh, you're so ugly. And that has nothing to do with my post. Like, I'm talking about, training or something like that. It's not like, oh, look at me, I'm so cute. And then they say, you're so ugly. And it's like, okay, whatever. But I've learned, like I said before, it's not me, it's them. I have people that tell me I've gotten where I am in the gun community because of my looks. They just disregard the hard work that I put in. A lot of people don't know my background, so they assume I don't know what I'm talking about, or they just assume that I can't shoot. I don't like to post a lot of shooting videos because of my background, a lot of people feel like they can't relate to me. And I want people to know that they can relate to me because one day, like 10 years ago, I was new to guns, or before I joined the military, I was new to guns, So I know what it feels like. And I'm still, when I go to a lot of this training, I'm the only girl. So I know what it feels like to be that girl and for people to be staring at you and to feel like you don't belong. But the gun community is definitely different at times. And I like to educate people within the community on just treating everybody with respect. Like, I don't care. You don't have to agree with you. Like, they don't have to agree, but they have to respect each other, because there's so many people that are on the outside of the community that are looking in, and they're judging how we treat each other. And if we're treating each other like this, how are we going to treat them when they join the community? But I think women definitely have it harder in the community, because I've had people who come at me like something like crazy. And I know other women are watching it. And by other women watching how they attack me, they probably don't want to join the community, because if I'm experienced and they're trying to discredit me or they're trying to tear me down, what are they going to do to new women?
Yeah, exactly. If I, before, when I first started this, I didn't really get a lot of hate or anything. But if I would have seen girls getting attacked, like how they're attacking me or you or other girls, then I might have been like, wow, let me just not, step in here. I mean, it's like jumping in a pool of sharks kind of.
Yeah.
And I think that's so wrong. And I think it's so stupid and hypocritical, because these guys don't own the Second Amendment. They don't own the gun world. They don't own the gun community. So they need to not act like they own it, because there's no title. You can't go and claim and be like, oh, I'm the leader of the gun community. It doesn't work like that. That's totally, I mean, that's everything that the gun community is against too.
Yeah.
We're against having power over people. And so I think it's very ridiculous, because they always wonder, how do we get more people involved? How do we get more people? How do we grow the Second Amendment? Well, you can grow the Second Amendment by not pushing people away from it,
Yeah. And so I can definitely agree to the fact that there are men within the gun community, but I won't not acknowledge the fact that there's still women within that community that think just because women wear makeup or they have their nails done or they dress a certain way that they're a gun bunny, or they may not belong in the community. Because like you said before, you're going to continue to be who you are. And that's why I started my platform, is because I'm going to always stay true to who I am. Yes, I'm a female. I'm a very girly female. I like to have my eyelashes popping.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
I like to have my nails done. And I have people who tell me, nope, you're not going to be able to shoot a gun like that, or you're dressed like this and you can't have a gun. I can have a gun with a skin tight dress on, because then I can just off body carry. And there's still men who off body carry as well, you know. But I think it's really important for women to know that you can still remain who you are. You don't have to be tactical. You can still be that average woman, because I mean, we're both average women, and we just decided to embark in that two-way journey. And don't ever let anyone else stop you from protecting yourself, because this whole Second Amendment movement is about protecting yourself and protecting your loved ones.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're a female and you want to join the Second Amendment, if you want to carry a gun, if you want to be a supporter, all that stuff, you don't need the approval of these guys. You don't need anybody's approval. You can be who you are. You can, I've had long nails before and I could still load my mags. You can wear eyelashes to the range. You can do whatever you want. This is a free country. And if people want to tell you, oh, you shouldn't do this, you can't do this, you can just block them or ignore them.
But if anyone knows the best eye pro out there for eyelashes, let me know, because I'm looking.
Yeah. Oh, do your eyelashes hit the glasses?
Yeah, sometimes they do, and it's just like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
So that kind of segued into the advice that you have for women in the gun community. So we talked about what advice you have for women who are kind of not in the gun community, but as far as women who's already in the gun community, do you have any advice for them?
Women that are already in the gun community,
Mm-hmm.
I would say just keep doing what you're doing. And I mean, the bigger you get, the more eyes you're going to get. And you might get some people that are haters or might not agree with you or whatever. But like that literally means, it means you're doing good when you get hate, to be honest. And if people are, being rude, if men are being whatever, you should just ignore them and never change who you are. Don't ever try and fit in because you feel like, oh, these people are giving me so much grief. I feel like I need to, change who I am, or unless it's, getting in the way of safety. Like, let's say, something you want to wear to the range is going to be a safety hazard or anything that might hurt or harm you or other people, then yeah, you should listen to that and you should, not do that. But if it's something that it's, not going to hurt or harm anyone and they're just telling you, oh, you shouldn't look like this or you shouldn't be like this, then you should tell them to shut up, because you should look and be however you want. And, I don't know. I would just say just be yourself and just know that no man or no person owns the gun community.
Yeah, the Second Amendment doesn't have a color attached to it, a race attached to it, or a certain dress code attached to it. It belongs to each and every one of us, and I feel like we all need to exercise our rights.
Yeah, and I would just say again too that the Second Amendment is personal to. KD says this all the time, and I like that he says this. The Second Amendment, freedom is personal to everybody. The Second Amendment is personal to everybody. We've all, we're all part of certain things, So like I'm a female, a white female. So how dare anybody tell me that I can't train or carry a gun or be in this field because, I'm smaller than most of the population and more of a target. And you being a black female, you have a past of, people being oppressed and just being a female. And we've been through things. So how dare they tell you or tell me or tell anyone that we can't, be so involved in this and be so emotional about this,
And something else that I want to add to that is just women in general. We have to support each other. Like American Gun Chic's definitely been in this game a lot longer than I have. And there's plenty of other women who have been in the game, but we have to come together and let people know that we support each other, because if they see that we are coming together and supporting each other, then, and I mean, my background and her background is completely different, but I 100% respect what she's doing. And I am here to help her in any way that I can. But you would not necessarily see a Skips Tactical and an American Gun Chick come together and say, hey, we support each other, but that's something that we're willing to do because we do support each other. So regardless of your background, regardless of how long you've been in whatever community, and this can apply to every aspect of your life, make sure that you are supporting each other, because all we have is each other. And we definitely go through a different set of just BS, I'll say. We have our different set of BS that we go through as women, and we have to be able to relate and support each other.
That's true. Yeah, thank you. You know, I support you too, and anything to help you grow, you know, I'm willing to do. And anything to help anybody that's doing this grow, I'm willing to do. Even the people that are haters or might, you know, be closed-minded, they're still doing something good. They're still contributing to the Second Amendment. So I think it's important to, you know, if you care about the Second Amendment, to, you know, promote and help grow any gun YouTuber there is, whether they have 100 followers or 100,000 followers. It's very important to keep spreading that message and growing them, because they're putting out positive, you know, they're putting out a positive light with guns versus the media that's putting out a negative light. So I feel like it's better to get more of those positive views out there than the negative ones.
Absolutely. I'm definitely big on helping anyone that I can help, but what I do not do is I do not give anyone a platform who is spreading hate. And so our values have to line up. We have to have the same agendas, and I can completely support you and help you along your journey. But if you are spewing any hate, Skip is going to show you no love.
Yeah. Yeah, just be a nice person, you know, it's not that hard.
It is not. And the last thing that I want to kind of say about what we were just wrapping up is people are going to hate. And I've had this motto. This is like one of my life mottos for the longest. People are going to hate regardless, right? People are going to talk about you regardless. So why not give them something good to talk about? And just don't worry about what they say.
Yeah.
So if you guys listen to anything that I've said for the past year, listen to that, all right?
Yeah, exactly.
So American Gun Chic, I heard that you have invented a product. Can you tell us a little bit about your product? And do you have one to show us?
Hey Joe, can you grab a product? Oh wait, there's one right there, but I gotta. Yeah, let me grab it real quick. Hold on 1 second.
Okay, you're fine. All right, so while she's grabbing her product really quick, I heard that she has a product to help women be safe at the range. So she's going to show us really quick. And if you are not on the live stream, I will link the product below so that in the show notes so that you can actually click on it and see it as well.
All right, so this is kind of a product that I got a lot of hate for too on Facebook. But to me, I feel like it's something that's really actually smart. So this is it right here. And it's called an American Gun Chic dust cover, and it's basically a bib. But what it is I always see tons of women go into ranges or, you know, take classes, or like I've seen it with my own eyes, like girls that have never shot before and are new shooters, and even girls that have shot a few times and trained a few times, but they just haven't had it happen yet where they had brass go down their shirt. And, you know, when I first started shooting, I was in the same boat. I did the same thing. I would show up to ranges, or I would, you know, take a class and wear like a tank top or a low cut shirt, because you don't really think about it. You don't really realize that that can happen, you know? So, you know, if you're wearing a shirt kind of like this, kind of pull it down to show the effects more.
So she's wearing a tank top.
An American Gun Chic tank top. But, so basically what it is you just take it like this. I mean, it works the same way like a bib would work. I think that's kind of why people were hating on it, because it's a bib and they don't want to wear a bib. And you just put it on like that. It goes all the way up to your neckline, so nothing is getting in there at all. And then a lot of people were saying, well, why don't you just wear a t-shirt? Well, yeah, why don't you just wear a t-shirt? But, you know, some women just don't do that, or they don't think about it. So if a guy is taking, you know, his girl, they go out to dinner, and then he's like, hey, let's go to the range. And she's like, okay. And then she throws on like a tank top because she thinks it's kind of tactical, and then some like pants and then a hat or whatever. And then she shows up. I've seen it so many times where ranges just let it slide, and they're like, all right, here you go. Here's your gun, you know, or here's your whatever. And they go back there and they go shooting. And then she might get brass down her shirt. I'm sure she has. And then she'll never want to go shooting again because she's like, oh, that was terrible. And or she might get brass down her shirt and she's waving the gun around while she's trying to get it out. It's just, it could be a safety hazard. So I feel like they could just, you know, have these at the range, rent them out for $1, say, hey, you have a low cut shirt on. If you want to go shooting, you have to rent this out for $1. And then people would say, oh, well, ranges will just give out t-shirts. Well, if they have, you know, like, if they have like a whole bunch of t-shirts, sizes, extra large, small, tons of, let's say they have all those sizes and everything. I kind of feel like the range is kind of missing out on, like, they're going to be giving out a lot of t-shirts, and it's going to cost them a lot always making t-shirts, giving them out, when they can literally just reuse this and rent it out for literally $1.
I haven't been to any ranges that that give out shirts.
That's funny too, because all these ranges, they would be like, oh, we give out shirts when people have low cut shirts. But I've actually been to ranges where I had a low cut shirt on when I first started shooting. I know better now because I've been through this, and they would never give me a shirt. They would never offer me a shirt. And girls don't know to ask for a shirt because they would have put a shirt on to start with, you know?
Yeah, I think that's really important. So for all the people, for just point blank period, you invented a product, right, that could help people be more safe on the range. Not everyone's going to know, or like you said, it may just be an impulse, let's go to the range, and you're not properly dressed. So having a product like that, and that's also something that you can put in your range bag for that one day where you just forgot and it's there, or if you're at the range and someone else needs it, then you have it in your bag. So big ups to you for creating a product that you felt was needed in the gun community, and you filled that void.
Yeah, and you know, it might sound kind of vain, but another reason I kind of like it is it's not going to mess my hair up. You know, that sounds kind of stupid, but
no, I mean, everybody has their reasonings, and it's not stupid.
Yeah, you know, if I have my hair, whatever, fixed up, or if it's in a hat, I have my, you know, hearing pro on, all that stuff. It takes 2 seconds to literally just put this on like that versus pulling like a t-shirt over your hair and your hat or your head.
Yeah.
To me, it's just more, it's just easier access, kind of.
So one last thing that I want to talk about really quick is American Gun Chic has a music video out.
That's right.
Tell us a little bit about your music video. And so if you have not seen her video, I will link it in the show notes. But tell us a little bit about your video.
All right, so we're talking about the music video. Joe's over there. All right, so yeah, I made a music video, and it's actually a parody from Tom MacDonald's "Everybody Hates Me." So Tom MacDonald was the original writer of this song, and then I took his song and I switched the words to make it more me. And then it was kind of stemmed from hate that I got, you know, because I was getting hate. It's one thing if you get hate from just random trolls, you know, but then I started getting hate from, you know, big time YouTubers, the Gun Collective and John Correa. I started getting, like, I don't know, just kind of hate for no reason. Like, I don't know where it was stemmed from. I don't know why they hate me, but they pretty much, the Gun Collective commented somewhere and said that my channel was trash. And he's a grown man. He's, I don't know, like in his 40s or something, and he's kind of picking on like a young girl that's, you know, just getting into this world, kind of. So I thought that was kind of inappropriate and immature. So I did the mature thing and made a music video to respond to that. Yeah. So I pretty much just, I feel like that music video is calling out every type of form of hate that I've gotten and calling out the problems, and then proving myself in the end, like, hey, you guys mean nothing to me. Your hate and your comments are irrelevant to me. I don't even pay attention to that. This is why I do this, and these are the people that support me. And then in the end, it shows me training and singing with all the people that are, you know, big names in the gun community, all like some of the best trainers and just people that I respect and I care what they think, and not trolls, you know?
Yeah. Well, big ups to you for actually responding to that.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel like that was the perfect, diss track.
Yeah, I like the video. She was in the pool, she was shooting, she was doing everything in the video.
Yeah.
But I talked to her about the video a little bit at SHOT Show, and she was explaining that every single thing that's in that video has a meaning behind it. So head over to her YouTube page, check out her video, and let her know what you think about it as well. So do you have anything that you would like to share with the audience before we end?
Anything that I've, excuse me, sorry. Anything that I would like to share? Let me think. I don't know. I always feel like I have a lot to share. I'm very like ADD, so my brain's always going crazy, but I don't know. I would say just whoever's watching, always be yourself and always be true to yourself. And just know that if you ever want to comment on someone's post or say anything, just know that they will see it. And just always think about how, you would want someone to treat your mother or your daughter or your sister. And just remember too, if you don't agree with someone on something, maybe it's because you might be closed-minded and you haven't just thought about that or tried that or whatever. So just always be a nice person and just keep shooting, and also take a girl out shooting. Go and get whatever girl you can find. If you're on Tinder or whatever, you have a date, take her shooting, take her shooting. And that's the only way that I feel like we can really grow the Second Amendment before it gets so bad where we have to fight it the way we don't want to fight it. So just fight it the way that everyone wants to fight it now, and take a girl out shooting. And yeah, and also thank you to Sportsman's Guide. I just want to do like a little plug for them real quick. They're right there, Sportsman's Guide. They're the ones really helping out with this tour. And, check them out, sportsmansguide.com. And thank you to my Patreons. And thank you for all the people that are supporters and all the people that show love,
Yeah. We always have to have our shameless plugs.
That's right.
So I want to say thank you to American Gun Chic for taking the time out to speak with us and to give us a little bit of insight about her. I know she has dealt with a lot in the gun community, and I appreciate her for sticking it out. I know sometimes it gets pretty rough, and it's like one of those things, and the people who follow me or support me, they know that I say this all the time. Sometimes it feels like there's no one listening, or there's only a couple people out there that are supporting you, but I can promise you there's a ton of people out there who support you and who back you. And I love that you bring a different, I call it a different swag. You bring a different swag to the gun community. It's people who relate to you, people who trust you, and those people are going to just embark into that two-way journey because they see you and they're more comfortable with you. So don't discount what someone else brings to the table, because we all bring a different swag. I have my swag, she has her swag, and you have your swag. So take someone out shooting, and you never know, you could just introduce them to a lifelong love that they never really knew that they had. But also just treat people how you want to be treated. That's like the mom in me coming out. Make sure that you treat people how you want to be treated. And like she said, people can normally see every single comment that you leave on their things, and you don't want someone to mistreat you or your child or your mother or whoever, so don't mistreat them.
That's right.
So American Gun Chic, go ahead and let everyone know where they can find you at.
All right, so I'm on YouTube, American Gun Chic. Excuse me, sorry. I'm like just getting over being sick too. So I'm on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and it's all American Gun Chic, and that's Chic, C-H-I-C with no K. So kind of like American Gun Chic. So go find me on those platforms, and I'm on Patreon too, American Gun Chic. And yeah, so, and Full 30 and a couple other ones, huh? I'm on so many other platforms.
I think Gunstreamer
too, yeah. So you can find me on pretty much all the main platforms, so come check me out and see what I do.
And let her know that you heard about her from Skip's Tactical Solutions. So I really appreciate you taking time out to do the interview with us, and I definitely want to do kind of like a follow-up interview and see how your tour is going. So remember, guys, she has her tour coming up if you know of any women who may be a little bit antsy about getting into the community, they don't have a lot of knowledge, have them reach out and see where she is and see if they can get into one of her classes. So thank you for joining the Skips Tactical Solutions podcast, and we look forward to hearing from you again.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you.